to start, huh? I don't have a phone. Okay. Of course, I do look at my phone.
Shabbat Shalom, everybody. It's wonderful to have so many people here. We've had quite a last 15 months, and look, we get to celebrate not one, but two wonderful simchas. So it's like a double portion of manna. When we were wandering in the wilderness, we got a double portion. On Shabbat, when we have everybody eating in the temple, we have two chalot, to represent that double portion. So we have a double portion of joy and happiness and gratitude. So I'd like to call, first we're going to do 2 songs. If you look in your prayer books, they go right to left. If you don't have one, maybe one of the boys in the back, religious school alumni, can get you one. So if you'll turn to page 192, we are so grateful to come into the sanctuary and we give blessing. Ma tovu ohalecha Yaakov mishkanotecha Yisrael. So together, let's read on page 193 as they start to play the music to Ma tovu. May the one whose spirit is with us in every righteous deed, together page 193, be with all who work for the good of humanity and bear the burdens of others, and who give bread to the hungry, who clothe the naked, and take the friendless into their homes. May the work of their hands endure, and may the seed they sow bring abundant harvest. And so much so with our frontline heroes. Linda Schneier, Victoria's mom, is one of those. And we probably have others here today. So blessings to you all and to everyone who has kept our world going. And to our sisterhood and our temple board, all of our volunteers, and of course our wonderful musical staff, and our 2 religious school directors right here, Harriet and Lisa, who have kept Judaism alive. Ma tovu ohalecha Yaakov mishkanotecha Yisrael, page 192. Ma tovu ohalecha Yaakov mishkanotecha Yisrael. No words, you can do this. In Judaism, we believe that we come in with a pure soul. And what we do with that as we go through our life determines our character, what we give to the world. So we choose between the Yetzer Hara and the Yetzer HaTov, the good and the evil inclination, but the soul is pure. So we thank God for that soul. And when we go to bed at night, when we wake up, sometimes people say the Shema, which we'll do later in the service, but we thank God for the soul that we've been given and the opportunity to live a good, pure life. So Elohai Neshama on page 196. And as we're playing the music, we'll read the bottom of 197. Together my soul came to me pure, drawn from the reservoir of the holy. All the time it remains within me, and I am thankful for its thirst for compassion and justice. Let my eyes behold the beauty of all creatures. Let my hands know the privilege of righteous deeds. Truer words have never been spoken at this time. Baruch atah Adonai asher b'yado nefesh kol chai v'ruach kol basar ish. And the prayer, the music that we will sing, which is the conduit between the physical and the spiritual realm, page 196. Elohai, Elohai, Neshama, Shenatata bi Tehorai. Elohai, Elohai, Neshama, Shenatata bi Tehorai. Ata verata, ata yitzarta, ata nefachta bi. Ata meshavera, meshamra mekivi. Elohai, Elohai, Neshama, Shenatata bi Speaking of pure souls, we have a beautiful, pure soul that has come into this world, Victoria Rose. And I would like to call up her mother, her father, and Victoria, and whoever else is coming up to the bima for her official naming. So we're so excited. Victoria was born in July of last year, and we have not been able to do this together in the sanctuary, so we are so thrilled, and she's such a good baby. And they went through a lot to have her, and may it be God's will that there will be more. So please come. Hi, my little one. I love you. You're so looking how sweet you are. She's like, I think so, but maybe not. Okay, so look at the shiny, pretty Torah scrolls. Come on, Dad, come in too. Look, we have 1, 2, 3, creating order out of the chaos in the universe, and you bring that joy, you bring that wonderful joy. Look at that. Isn't she fabulous? You guys did a very good job. Let's all say Baruch Hashem, thank you to God. So may the light that is in your eyes that shines so beautifully of the Torah be with you always. May it guide you on your journey through life. May you grow to be the best, beautiful version of yourself, and may your soul evolve to be all it's meant to be. Is she not great? Is that a shame to put him or what? Look at that. So let's all gather around. We'll put my talit around you. Here, I'm going to close the... Well, actually, why don't you go on over there? And no back to the Torah, over on this side. And then why don't you put your talis around your family? There we go. Wonderful. Okay, now, we have a surprise. Later on, the Parsha today is Naso. Jeremy will be leading us all in the Birkat Kohanim, but we're going to bless you. And maybe one day, I blessed your parents with this blessing when they got married, and now we're going to do it with you. Yeah, it's so great. Those in the cyberspace world, I hope you're seeing this. Okay, are we ready? Do you want to hold the little seat in your hand? Here we go. Look, you're like a nice traditional Orthodox girl. Okay, but they don't hold those, but we do that here. Yeah. Are we ready? So why don't you all stand and rise as we bless this family with the Birkat Kohanim. You say, Kain Yehi Ratzon. This time, after each verse, not when we do it with Jeremy, which I'll explain to you. Are you ready? Yeah? And the English is, may God bless you and keep you. May God's countenance shine upon you. May God be with you always and grant you peace. Yevarechacha Adonai ve'yishmerecha. They're saying, may it be God's will. Ya'er Adonai panav alecha v'chunecha. She wants to kiss it. That's what we do. Yisa Adonai panav alecha ve'yasem lecha shalom. Kain Yehi Ratzon, may it be God's will. And so now we're going to close this up so we can stand in front. And your parents are going to tell us, everyone, you may be seated. They're going to tell us why you have this beautiful name. And look, it's pink like all of us. Okay, are we ready? So please tell us her entire English name, and then if you want, you can say the Hebrew and explain why. Oh, wait, hold on. There you go.
IV troubles, yes. So her English name is Victoria Rose Schneier, but for her Hebrew name, we chose Rella Bat Aaron Vilinda. Of course, Aaron is myself, Linda is my wonderful wife, but Rella is a name that holds very special significance to us. It is the name of my dearly departed grandmother, but it also means angel. And she, to us, is the most wonderful little angel, always and forever, especially when she cries.
And she has many angels looking out over her.
Yes, we want to mention your mother who just passed recently. So,
And of course, she is an angel in the company of many angels as well. Many angels looking over her, many angels next to her, and of course, one very, very wonderful angel within her.
And she loves her certificate. So yes, you can frame this and put it on your wall. We'll wait for your bat mitzvah certificate. Rabbi Kandratini will still be here doing this, right, everybody? We're going to keep the temple going, and Victoria, Rose, Rela, but Ron Belinda will be back. Yes. Baruch Hashem, may King, so may be God's will. So thank you. Let's all do as they are leaving the bima. we're going to go to the leaf. They have a leaf dedication we're going to do. Let's all sing Siemen Tov and Mazel Tov. Please be careful. You're so brave over there. Siemen Tov and Mazel Tov and Mazel Tov. I'm coming. Siemen Tov and Mazel Tov. Mazel Tov is, I have to go this way. Siemen Tov and Mazel Tov and Mazel Tov is Siemen Tov. Yehelanu. Woo! Siemen Tov. Mazel Tov and Mazel Tov is Siemen Tov. Siemen Tov. Mazel Tov. Mazel Tov is Siemen Tov. Siemen Tov and Mazel Tov. Mazel Tov is Siemen Tov. Yehelanu. Mazel Tov. So we all want to thank God for bringing us to this moment. So we say the Shehachianu Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu Melech Haolam Shehachianu V'kiyamanu V'hidianu L'azman Hazeh. Would you like to reveal your special leaf? Your grandma leaves for the family so that you have a sibling, there'll be one for that one too. Yeah. You want to? There we go. Oh, yeah. So, do you guys want to read it? Oh, here's from your wedding. Here we go.
Welcome to the world, Victoria Rose Schneier, 7/31/2020. Love, Grandma Terry.
Woo! Mazel tov! Siemen Tov, Mazel Tov, Mazel Tov, Siemen Tov, Siemen Tov, Mazel Tov, Mazel Tov, Siemen Tov, Siemen Tov, Mazel Tov, Mazel Tov, Siemen Tov. Yehelani. Mazel Tov, we love you. Mwah, mwah. I guess do we still have to do all those? Mwah. Okay, so Shabbat Shalom to them. Mazel Tov, they're all going to go off, I think, to eat. And we're now going to do the Bar Mitzvah. We're so proud. I'll see you guys, okay? All right. Woo! Great job, Victoria. She's a real champion. She'll be leading services. It's great to see all of you. Hopefully we'll catch up when we have more time another time. Okay, bye-bye. Shabbat Shalom. Okay, Bar Mitzvah. Oh, it's so exciting. Not yet, yeah. No. Actually, come on up. Yeah, well, I was going to do something else first, but I changed my mind. Come on. You're more important. Let's go. So the Phaedra and Jonathan are going to come up with Jeremy.
We're having a mic. Oh, God.
Oh, okay. Is it go in your pocket with the little clip?
Yeah.
You got to turn it around for the little clip.
Okay.
There you go.
Right here.
You want to come over here and... Okay.
It's supposed to be like this.
You got
I
it?
think it's like this. All right.
Are we all ready?
Yeah.
Okay, are we ready for a bar mitzvah? Before we do the bar mitzvah, we are going to officially name Jeremy so I can call him to the Torah and be able to give him his bar mitzvah certificate. And Phaedra has taken on Abigail Bat Charles Alfreda, so there's yours as well. And here we have, come forward. Oh, you're all going to want to listen to this. Shake it all out. Get ready, because this is very interesting. I encourage everyone, when you have the opportunity to pick your own Hebrew name, to find the qualities of characteristics of a particular name that you either already emulate or that you want to attract in your life for all time. And so for Phaedra, do you want to tell them why you chose Abigail?
I chose Abigail because it means your father's joy.
And joy comes across in this one's name. So, do you want to tell them what your Hebrew name is going to be? Everybody, if those of you who don't know, this is Jeremy. Say it again.
Emet Simcha.
Emet, Simcha. Emet, Aleph, Mem, Tav. And what Ben Yonatan and Abigail, your parents. And what does Emet Simcha mean? Do you know? You picked it.
It means like.
At the time, you told me it's a truth, a joyous truth, a joyous person who brings truth to the world.
Yeah.
At the time, you sent it to me. So he spells it a little different. We spell temple Emet, E-M-E-T. He wanted E-M-M-E-T-T. But it's interesting, when you listen to Jeremy's bar mitzvah speech, you will understand, like he went and looked, did you comb the internet? How did you find it? Or just,
I guess the internet.
yeah, so he found what resonated with him. So it's interesting that he had his bar mitzvah and his growing up, well, having his bar mitzvah and his growing up years here at Temple Emet, our Temple of Truth, and he's Emet. truth within his own being, a true pure soul that's elevating us all today with his bar mitzvah, and a joy, simcha. So here is your official certificate of Hebrew naming for Jeremy Engel. Jeremy, the son of Jonathan and Phaedra Engel, shall be known among the people of Israel as Emet Simcha ben Yonatan ben Abigail. With gratitude to God, may his name be for a blessing. Everyone, mazel tov. Okay, great. So now we are going to have the presentation of the talit. And so they are going to, the talit is the prayer shawl that we wear, and his parents have purchased this for him, and they are going to place it upon him right now. The prayer shawl has, we call these fringes, it's the fringe talit, and it has little knots on it. The knots equal to 613. There are not just 10 commandments, but there are 613. Thou shalt and thou shalt not. Positive and negative commandments. And they're on the four corners of the tallis to represent the four corners of the world. You're meant to wear it in the daytime so that you know wherever you're going that you will bring that light of God and Torah and goodness and truth to the world wherever you go. So they are going to place this talit upon Jeremy and say a word or two.
I think I have a mic here, right? I have a mic here, right?
What?
I have this mic, right? Or-
This is for them.
Oh.
They're going to say something to you. Okay. Go ahead. Go ahead, say the blessing.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kadishanu b'mitzvotah v'tzivanu lahi atef batzitzi.
Woo! All right, Yasher Koach, good job. You did it. Now, the first thing, now that's down, we can continue.
Now we are presenting him with the talif. Did I say it right?
Yeah, you did. Talis, Talit, either way. Yiddish or Hebrew. You did a great job. You are a bar mitzvah boy yourself. And we know how much your parents love you. Okay, so they're going to sit down and we're going to start the service now. We have our prayer service continues now with the Chatzi Kaddish, and Jeremy is going to lead us in that. And he has his trusty yod that I gave him as a gift, and since he can no longer use it on the Torah, hopefully maybe we'll have another bar mitzvah and he will do it at that time. But for right now, he's going to lead us in the Hatzi Kaddish prayer. So is your microphone on?
Yeah, I think so. Is it working?
Oh, yes.
Yeah,
Okay, very good. If you'd like to turn to page 224, he's going to lead us in this prayer.
Okay, so. Yitzkada Shmei Rabbah.
Amen.
Be'alma divarach hirote ve'amlich malchute b'chaye chon u'v'yom echon u'v'chaye techo beit Yisrael ba'agala u'vizman karib ve'imru Amen. Yehi Shmei Rabbah mivara le'alam u'al me'omaya Yitzbarach, v'yishtabach, v'yitzpa'ar, v'yitzraman, v'yitnaseh, v'yithadar, v'yitalev, v'yitadlal, shemei d'kudesha le'elam yinko birchata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nechemata, da'amiran v'yama, v'yimeru, Amen.
Yasher Koach. So the Hatzi Kaddish officially separates our warm-up exercises of spirituality for the official worship portion, which is the Baruch Hu, which is happening right now. So we all rise when we face the ark, and if you will turn in your Siddurim, your prayer books, to page 226, we have the Baruch Hu. You can clap. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Adonai, Hamevorah, Baruch Adonai. And so we have, if you'll read at the top of 229, we have our morning prayer, our Yotzer Or. And let's read together in the beginning at the top of 229. In the beginning, even then, a new light was sown for the righteous, a promise that your light would become the catalyst first for order and then for hope. Author of language and light, help us to use words as you have to cast light into dark waters and draw out justice and truth. Baruch atah Adonai Yotzer Hama Orot. And now on the top of page 231, many of us go forth in life, especially right now. We've been in our homes and we have to go out. We have to lech lecha. We have to go forth. We have to go out toward our destiny. We get to manifest destiny. So together on the top of 231, once or twice in a lifetime, a man or a woman may choose a radical leaving, having heard lech lecha, go forth. God disturbs us toward our destiny by hard events and by freedom's now urgent voice, which explode and confirm who we are. We don't like leaving, but God loves becoming. Baruch atah Adonai habocher be'amo Yisrael be'ahava. And now we have our Shema on page 232 and 233. The Shema is considered the watchword of our faith. And we go inside our own being to connect to the still, quiet voice inside of us that resonates with the divinity. Or we stand, because there was a time when we would stand for the Shema, like we stood all together at Mount Sinai to receive the commandments. And it is said, all of us who are here today, all of us who stand together, we stood together before all those thousands of years ago. So whether you'd like to stand or be seated, we have the Shema on page 232. Take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. 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 Baruch Shem Kevod, Shem Kevod Malchuto, Le'olam Va'ed. Baruch Shem Kevod, Shem Kevod Malchuto, Le'olam Va'ed. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Adonai Echad. Adonai Echad. Please be seated. So we have this wonderful young girl over here who was clapping during the Shema. So there's a story that a young boy didn't know the prayers, but he was singing the ABCs in the pews during High Holy Days, and people were trying to get him to be quiet. And the rabbi said, no, he's praying to God with the language that he knows. And this wonderful young girl over here, she felt it, and she was clapping for the Shema, so we clapped with you, and a child shall lead us. And now another child shall lead us, the man of the hour. Please come forward, Jeremy, as you lead us in the Ve'ahavta on page 234. So first, Jeremy is going to do a passage, a reading for us that we'll listen to, and then we will join him in the chanting of the Ve'ahavta.
Love your God with every heartbeat, with every breath, with every conscious act. Keep in mind the words I command you today. Teach them to your children. Talk about them at work, whether you are tired or you are rested. Let them guide the work of your hands. Keep them in the forefront of your vision. Do not leave them at the doorway of your house or outside your gate. They are reminders to do all of my mitzvot. so that you can be holy for God. I am Adonai your God. I led you out of Egypt to become your God. I am Adonai your God.
And now the Ve'ahavta, please join in with him. Page 234. And if you'd like, if you're wearing a talit, this is a prayer where we take our tzitzit and we hold them in our hand as we're chanting the prayer. And then at the end of it, when he does his final verse, we kiss him. If you're wearing lipstick, you might want to just kiss your finger. But that's up to you.
Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha b'chol levavecha u'b'chol nafshecha u'b'chol me'otecha v'hayu hadvarim ha'eleh asher anochi mitzavecha hayom al levavecha v'shinantam levanecha v'dibarta bam b'shivtecha b'veitecha u'v'lechtecha v'derech u'v'shochbecha u'v'kumecha u'kashartam leot al yodecha v'hayu letotafot b'neinecha u'chtavtam al mezuzot beitecha u'v'isharecha leman tizkaru la'asitem et kol mitzvotai V'hitem kedoshim le'Elohechem ani Adonai Elohechem asher hotzeiti etchem me'eretz Mitzrayim lihiot lachem le'Elohim ani Adonai Elohechem Adonai Elohechem Amen.
And now if you have your tzitzit, we kiss them. Yasher koach, good job. We will bring you back up in a moment. And so on the top, well, let's do actually the bottom of 237. Let's read together. And when we think of the threads that we speak of, think of the threads in the tzitzit that cause us and remind us to go forth with purity in our hearts and divinity, connection to that soul, and that we carry that goodness with us wherever we go. Life without integrity together is like loosely hanging threads, easily fraying from the main cloth. While in acts of piety we learn to understand that every instant is like a thread raveling out of eternity to form a delicate tassel. We must not cast off the threads, but weave them into the design of an eternal fabric. Each day points to eternity. The fate of all time depends upon a single moment. And the fate of Judaism depends upon all of us, how we give and share and support our community, our synagogue. The family has been so gracious. They've welcomed our Temple Emet community to lunch at Rock and Brews, and they are hosting everybody, so we're grateful. But they ask that you make a donation to the temple in honor of Jeremy. So thank you, Jeremy, for bringing us some very much needed funds. But we are so grateful to carry this legacy and this tradition forward, to know that everywhere throughout the world, despite the chaos that's going on, even Yerushalayim, wherever we are in the world, and even what we're dealing with in our own country, there is a young man or a young woman that on this very day are chanting words from Naso, what Jeremy will be doing, will speaking upon the Torah portion, that no matter what happens or what we face, that legacy, we carry it forward, lador vador, from generation to generation. Together on the top of page 239, we read these words about Emet, not only Temple Emet, but also Jeremy, Emet, Simcha. Together, Emet. You can be louder than that. We're Temple Emet. Emet! Good. There is no place where you are not. Even in the wilderness, there is your word again. Emet! That pen strokes of lightning, white fire, black flame, stir the soul's passion, guide our sacred way. True and enduring is Torah. Your truth for us is certain and established now and forevermore. Like Moses, Miriam, and all Yisrael, we sing out and we rejoice. And you saw it said Emet. Let's do that first line of the second paragraph again. Emet, that pen strokes of lightning. What did you get as a bar mitzvah party favor? Pens. I was saying, so go forward and write your own personal truth as you go forward in life. So we have our Michamoch on page 240. It is our custom to dance around the room. So if you want to shake it out a little bit, if you feel like you want to dance, we used to hold hands. You don't have to hold hands if you don't want to, but you could just sort of move, or you could stand up and shake your booty a little bit, your tushy. Are we ready? So Michamoch on page 240. If you want to get up, dance. Move around the room. Be careful if anything's in the way. Are we ready? Yeah, bye, bye. wonderful. And now, I would like to call forward to open up the ark Adrian Allen and Robin Engel. And they are going to come forward and they're going to slide these doors. Jeremy's going to come back up. And we have our Amidah, which is on page 242. And Jeremy, you're going to have to stand at an angle. We don't want our back to the Torah scrolls. And what we're going to do, normally we totally face the ark, but Jeremy is going to face forward so his grandma can see him. So here, she's right there. So there is the prayer, and then get ready. So now you just slide it, and it opens. There you go. And then stand on either side. Okay, and so please join Jeremy in the chanting of the Amidah, 242, 244, and then it skips to the next page. Wait, turn on your microphone. And by the way, those of you that are controlling the sound in the back, I think it needs to be a little louder. Okay, thank you. All right.
Adonai sefetai tiftach ufi yagid tehilatecha. Adonai, open up my lips that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu, ve'Elohei avotenu ve'imotenu, Elohei Abraham, Elohei Yitzchak, ve'Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, ve'Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol, Hagibor v'Hanora, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, Bekanei Hakol, Zocher Hasei Avot, V'himavot, Umevi Geula Livnei B'nechem, Leman Shemo Ve'ahava, Melech Ozer Moshiach U'Magen, Baruch Atah Adonai, Magen Avraham, Bezrat Sarah. Atah Gibor Le'olam Adonai, Mechaye HaKol Atah, Rav Lehoshia, Morid Hatol, Mechakel Chaim Bechesed, Mechaye HaKol Berachamim Rabim, Somech Noflim Verofei Cholim, Umatir Asirim, Umechaye Emunatov, Lishenei Afar, Michamocha Ba'al Gevurot, Umidom Elah, Melech Nemid, Umechayeh, Umatzmiach Yeshua, V'ne'eman atah lehachayot hakol, Baruch atah Adonai, Mechachayeh hakol.
And now the ark is closed and everyone can be seated. Excellent job. And so now we are moving to another portion of the service where we just are going to do one song a cappella, where we, if you'll turn to page 254, we want to ask that God will have favor upon Adonai, Yisrael, and all the world at this time. So let's read together the English on the top of page 254. Find favor, Adonai our God, with your people Yisrael, and accept their prayer and love. May the worship of your people Yisrael always be acceptable. God, who is near to all who call, turn lovingly to your servants and pour out your spirit upon us. Ritzei Adonai Eloheinu ve'amcha Yisrael. Ritzei Adonai Eloheinu ve'amcha Yisrael. U'tefilatam, u'tefilatam ve'ahava tekabel. U'tefilatam, u'tefilatam ve'ahava tekabel. Ritzei, ritzei Adonai Eloheinu ve'amcha Yisrael. Ritzei, ritzei Adonai Eloheinu ve'amcha Yisrael. And now, it's very, very exciting. I am going to call up Jeremy, who is going to deliver his speech. And then he's going to chant his Torah portion for us. And I would like you to listen very carefully to what he has prepared for you. It's quite fantastic, I must say. And he is actually the rabbi today. He's actually leading everybody. I'm moving you to the center so you can have your great ruach. And I'm going to move around to the front so that I can watch you instead of sitting in my chair, since there seems to be a spot there. So everybody, shake it all out. Get ready for a few words of Torah and blessing from Jeremy.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
Thank you for being here today. I'm excited we're finally here to celebrate together for my bar mitzvah. My original Torah portion was the 2-in-1 Vayachel and Pikudei. My new Torah portion is Parsha Naso. Today I'm going to talk about both my new and old because they're both meaningful to me, and I feel a relationship between them. One of my first was Vayachel. Vayachel is about everyone giving gifts to do their part in building the tabernacle, which holds the 10 Commandments. They brought gold, silver, copper, dyed wool, among other things. They brought more than they needed, so Moses had to ask them to stop giving. In Pikudei, Moses kept track of everyone's gracious donations. He did this so everyone would know how everything was managed at all times and to be above suspicion. Today I'll be talking to you about what it means to be accountable and trustworthy. No matter what situation you're in, you should always do the right thing. To quote the Spider-Man movie, with great power comes great responsibility. Moses had a lot of power being in control of the valuable materials needed to build the tabernacle. He could have taken a lot for himself or had the people keep giving so there would be extra left for him. But he was responsible and made sure the gold, copper, and other materials went towards what they were meant to be used for and did not take any for selfish needs. He wasn't a cheater, he was a good leader. If you're playing Monopoly and cheat, unless it's Cheaters Edition, people will eventually not want to play with you, and you will lose those people's trust, and they will accuse you of cheating even more, maybe even times when you aren't cheating. This can negatively change the way people think about you. Moses was honest and trustworthy. People could trust him as a leader. He set an example of accountability for everyone to learn from. People could trust that he was doing the right thing for everyone. At the end of the Torah portion, we get to see that the tabernacle is completed with everyone's great contributions. The Israelites got to see that everything they gave made something beautiful, spiritual, and holy. A cloud then rested upon it as a symbol of God's presence. Everyone's generosity and righteous giving to something they cared about made it holy and possible for the divine to dwell within it. This shows that when we are accountable, trustworthy, and able to give freely, we can make something greater than ourselves. My original Torah portion spoke of people bringing gifts to build the tabernacle, and Moses being responsible and trustworthy with those gifts. Building the tabernacle for God to be with everyone brought blessing to them all, much like our community coming together to build Temple Emet. My new portion is Parsha Naso. In it, we get the blessing we do every Shabbat at the end of service. It goes all the way back to the high priestess in ancient times and is said in many different faiths, including Judaism. In English, we say, "May God bless you and keep you. May God's countenance shine upon you. May God be with you always and grant you peace." When we do the prayers, we put blessing out to God, the world, and it comes back to us. When we do the priestly benediction, we step into the past by doing what our ancestors did, but we also step into the future, hopefully with blessing. We can find many ways, small and large, to use God's blessing to bring good to our world. My Mitzvah project involved making beds for the kiddies waiting for their new families at Peter Zippy. Much like building of the tabernacle, we can all find ways to build goodness through our giving our blessing out through God to help each other. I enjoyed making beds so that the kittens and cats could have be more comfortable while waiting for their new homes. It gave me the chance to give to some of the little creatures that make so many people happy every day comfort and a nice place to sleep. Giving and blessing are inseparable in many ways. My Torah portion talks about the importance of giving in order to create something new that makes a difference. So many people have given in so many different ways to help me be here today having my bar mitzvah. I'm thankful for all the blessings that have been given with this. The experience of learning the prayers and going to Hebrew school gave me a strong connection with my Jewish culture. A bar mitzvah means to me that I'm ready to use the things that I've learned from my teachers, my rabbi, my parents, my grandparents, family, and other role models to be responsible and trustworthy in giving to the world as I become an adult. I would like to thank my religious school teachers for helping me learn to read Hebrew and for giving me a lot of fun times while learning. I would also like to thank Rabbi Cantor Didi for teaching me all of the prayers for my bar mitzvah and giving me recordings to help me learn them along with my Torah. I would also like to thank my mom and dad for taking me to religious school, for being there for all my bar mitzvah lessons, and for giving me the freedom and opportunity to choose my own spiritual path. I'd also like to say a special thank you to my grandma, who has the same birthday as me, for coming to share this day. I love you, Grandma. And last but not least, I want to thank all of you for coming and supporting me on this special day. May God be with you always and grant you peace. Shabbat shalom and l'chaim.
Shabbat shalom and l'chaim. Okay, stay there.
Yeah.
Okay, so.
Yeah.
Woo, see? Isn't that great?
Yeah.
Bask in the love. Okay, wait. So, a couple things. First of all, we have to call you to the Torah officially with your Hebrew name. That's what officially makes you a bar mitzvah. And, Jeremy spoke so beautifully about bringing gifts to support the tabernacle, the Mishkan. It's not only the gifts of gold, copper, silver, the monetary things, but also the gifts of our own being, our blood, our sweat, our tears, as our ancestors did, and as you did in your process. It was so important to him. He wanted to have his bar mitzvah on the day that he was all prepared last February, not of this year, of 2020. He had 3 or 4 verses, aliyot of Torah, he had Haftarah, he had his speech, he was all set to go. He was going to have his grandma, they were going to celebrate their combined birthdays, literally done, because we have to be done prior to the day, hopefully, done by the end of February. And what happens? March 9th, we get shut down. And he was supposed to have his bar mitzvah, I think it was March 20th. So, all that's in the past. We move forward into the future. And so it was wonderful that his original Torah portion, he wanted to combine that with the current one, which is Parshat Naso, as you heard. So every Shabbat, we always end the service with that blessing that he said in English, and he's going to read for you in the Hebrew today. But you are a blessing. Emet Simcha. So I know he's just dying to do it. I've never seen anyone so excited. So hopefully, either that or you just want to get it over with. No. Hopefully, it maybe goes well, or who knows what will happen. Either you'll come back and do it again. We've talked about doing it again maybe when that Parsha actually comes up in President's Weekend of next year, or maybe some other time, but maybe doing it again for that double portion when Jeremy can actually read from the Torah itself. Because of COVID, we're still not allowed to do that. Walk around Hakafah with the Torah so all of you can touch it with your prayer book and kiss it. Have behind that tapestry as a television, have his family play embarrassing videos of him when he was growing up, and have lots of food in the social hall, which is what we normally do. So, God willing, maybe that will happen in the future. So, now, I would like to call forward his parents, who are going to be here with him at this moment. And so, we are going to have Yondu, Abigail, Bud, Charles, Alfreda, Yonatan, Ben, and what were your parents' names? Because I don't have your certificate here. Yonatan, Ben, and your mom? What's her English?
Do you know our mom's Hebrew name?
I think she went by Sarah.
Visara. Okay, and it's the Aliyah Harishon. However, we have the bar mitzvah. So, are you ready? Mm-hmm. Wait, I'm calling you the Torah. I'm calling you the book with the Torah with your yod. Okay, so. Yamat Emet Simcha Ben Yonatan Ve'Abigail Habar Mitzvah Chazak V'Nichazer. You are now being called to the Torah for Harishon and your official Maftir. Everyone, please rise as we bless one another, and Jeremy leads us in the Birkat Kohanim. Ken Yehi Ratzon means may it be God's will. You're going to hold off, and we're going to all say that. You'll repeat it after me at the end. You may put your arms around if you're in your own family pod, if you'd like, as we bless one another.
Baruch hu et Adonai HaMevorach.
Baruch Adonai HaMevorach le'olam va'ed.
Baruch Adonai HaMevorach le'olam va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher bachar banu mikol ha'amim v'natan lanu et torato. Baruch atah Adonai noten ha'torah.
Amen.
Yevarechacha Adonai ve'yishmerecha. May God bless you and keep you. Ya'er Adonai panav elecha v'chunecha. May God's countenance shine upon you. Yisha Adonai panav elecha ve'ashem lecha shalom. May God be with you always and grant you peace.
And now we say, King, Yehi, Ratzon, may it be God's will. Woo! Okay, now he has to do the blessing after the reading of the Torah. Baruch Adonai.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher natan lanu torat emet v'chayei olam nata betochenu. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen. And you see how you say Asher Natan Lanu Torat Emet. Wherever you go in the world, if there's a Torah service, they're going to be saying your Hebrew name and the temple that you were bar mitzvahed in. Okay, so God, Bachar Banu, chose us to give us the Torah, and then Natan Lanu was the gift of the Torah of truth. So now we are going to pass out candy that you're going to get to throw at him. So in a very gentle way. So we have our candy passers, our ushers. We want to thank Cameron, Dash, Max, and Anthony. And our candy distributors are Isabel and Brandon and Selena. So please distribute the candy. Do you have the bowls with the candy? So you're going to do it very gently and throw it. So everyone, and then we're going to speak after. Okay, so Siman Tov, Mazel Tov, Mazel Tov, Siman Tov, Siman Tov, Mazel Tov, Mazel Tov, Siman Tov, Siman Tov, Mazel Tov, Mazel Tov, Siman Tov, Yehelanu. Siman Tov, Mazel Tov, Mazel Tov, Siman Tov, Siman Tov, Mazel Tov, Mazel Tov, Siman Tov, Siman Tov, Mazel Tov, Mazel Tov, Siman Tov, Yehelanu. Yehelanu, Yehelanu, Alecha Yisrael. Yehelanu, Yehelanu, Alecha Yisrael. Yehelanu, Yehelanu, Alecha Yisrael. This side needs candy over here. Yehelanu, Alecha Yisrael. Over here, Siman Tov, Mazel Tov, Mazel Tov, Siman Tov, Siman Tov, Mazel Tov, Mazel Tov, Siman Tov, Siman Tov. Over here, Mazel Tov, Siman Tov, Yehelanu, 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 Alecha Yisrael. Yehelanu, Yehelanu, Alecha Yisrael. Now you can start throwing it. Siman Tov, Mazel Tov, Mazel Tov, Siman Tov, Siman Tov, Mazel Tov, Mazel Tov, Siman Tov, Siman Tov, Mazel Tov, Mazel Tov, Siman Tov, Yehelanu, Mazel Tov. Woo,
I caught
Mazel
two.
Tov. Yep.
Oh,
Okay.
I got three.
Ceasefire, ceasefire. Okay.
That was fun.
Any children in the congregation, or anybody wants to come up and pick up this candy and eat it, you can take it. Anybody young at heart or young in age, come get the candy. Okay, and you can put it in your pockets and you can eat it later.
I got it.
So please be seated. Those of you out there, we're going to have some words of announcement. You can just put it on the lectern. Okay. So,
I'll just take this.
okay. Now,
I'm just going to keep this.
I would like to say to Jeremy
Wait, should I turn off my mic?
a few words, and then Phaedra, you're going to go. Jeremy, this is your, we're going to have the president officially give you your certificate after your mother speaks, but come over here. I just want to say how proud I am of you. It's not easy to have to redo this all over again. You all should know we put this together in the last 3 weeks. He had to learn a new Torah portion, adapt his speech, and review prayers that he had not done in 15 months. And so kudos to you. And hopefully we'll do this again and you'll do the rest and more even. But anyway, so we are so grateful that you are such a fine, upstanding young man of Judaism, and may the light that you bring to this day and to everyone, to your studies and to your family and to everybody that you meet, and the love that your parents bring as well. They were there for every single session. They really love you and they support you in wonderful ways. And so thank you to all of you and to Grandma for making it to this day. So let us all say the Shehechion again. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, shehechianu v'kiyamanu v'higianu lazman hazeh. We thank God for sustaining us to this moment. So now, wonderful moment. Your mom gets to speak to you, and then your dad. So please come over here so that you're come face him, come, or however you want to do it. Okay, but you want them to see you out there, and you want them to see you in the camera. Okay, all right.
Wait, should I turn off my mic or?
Yeah.
Shabbat Shalom. Okay, sorry. We have waited today and waited more. I am happy and blessed to be here together with all of you for Jeremy's bar mitzvah. Thank you for joining us here or from watching from home. Jeremy, you are amazing. 2 years ago in March, as we celebrated Grandma's 89th birthday and your 12th birthday, we had a celebration at Via Sorrento where I announced that next year on the same weekend, we would have a big weekend of celebrations with your bar mitzvah on Saturday, followed by the 90th birthday and 13th birthday party for you and Grandma. I would continue to announce this to family and friends with growing enthusiasm for months. I had everything pictured in my mind. I felt destined for that then upcoming weekend. It felt destined for that upcoming weekend in March 2020, the weekend of your 13th birthday. Visions of today and that day that I had visioned for March 2020 came long before then. When you were 4 or 5 years old, you cheerfully announced to everyone without a doubt, in the sweetest little voice, but with the most affirming voice, I'm Jewish, at an event at the Chabad in Lomita. You glowed with your big smile and curly golden hair, and your spirit and force were huge. Your strength and thoughts have always come out truly with the expression of joy. As you grew to find your direction with knowledge, you continued to respect the paths of others, even praying with them as they prayed, and sharing your prayers that you had learned in Hebrew school with pride. You exemplify the balance of what it means to be both proud and humble at the same time. You are resilient, caring, loving, and true to yourself and others. You are amazing. The week before your scheduled bar mitzvah in March 2020, I watched you that Friday night, 2 weeks and 1 day before your bar mitzvah, my beautiful boy, joyfully serving here at Temple Emet and eating cookies and drinking tea happily after services. Everyone was cheerful, and while there were some uncertainties coming up around a pandemic, we did not imagine that it would be over a year before the special day would arrive. That is okay, because today, right here and now, is perfect. It is not the perfect that we had planned, but still perfect. And over this year, you have become a young man. Since you were born 13 plus 1 year ago, the miracle of you from the start has been a blessing. One of the most beautiful moments was the glow in your father's eyes the day you were born and holding you for the first time. The beginning of a forever relationship is a magical place to be. It is part of all that is, all that was, and all that will ever be. We have made this our family prayer and say it daily along with both Jewish and Catholic prayers and our prayers of gratitude. You have been surrounded by people who love you, and in turn, you have been the source of love and joy for all those who know you. These include your grandparents, uncles, aunts, and cousins. Your affectionate and caring relationship you have had with your grandparents is undescribable. It is heavenly. It has never been forced, but just a part of your sweet nature. There is a song by Tim McGraw which he sings, "Visit Grandpa every chance that you get. It will never be wasted time. Always stay humble and kind." I know that we appreciate this now even more, the sentiment of this song, and are grateful that this is your truth. Today, we are grateful for Grandma being here to see the milestone that you have made. I believe your other grandparents are here too. Our family is a blend of love, universal, that describes you. You respect, embrace, and love all people, all creatures, with your warm heart that lights the world, with the light that I wished all the world knew. That is the light of knowing you. You are amazing. One day, on a walk with you, Daddy, Jonathan, and Grandpa Jerry at Wilson Park, Grandpa Jerry called Daddy JB. He did this often. On that day, I asked him, what did it mean? And he replied to me happily, "Joy boy." There was no further need for any explanation. Like your beautiful father, my soulmate and husband, you are true joy. You are our JB, our joy boy. You come from love and joy. You have the sense of humor of Daddy and Grandpa Jerry, the laugh of Grandpa Charles, and the magic of speaking to everyone with warm welcome. The artistic talents of Grandma Elfrida and your uncle and aunts, and the sensitivity of Grandma Edith and me. You rock the best of everyone. You have the special gift of being attuned to the needs of others, being considerate of others and compassionate towards all. You are caring for others, including animals. You are the perfect big brother to your furry brother Tommy, and always have been sweet, gentle, and kind with animals, even as a very small child. Animals come to you instinctively as they are drawn to your kind, calm nature. I have seen them surround you with comfort and reciprocated joy. They are drawn to the pure honesty of you. Your love, sweet kindness, and pleasant joyfulness. Like your father, you are a smile maker, making others smile, most of all me. You are amazing. Jeremy, your manner, kindness, and understanding in various situations are exemplary, and you are already a role model and leader to follow. A source of universal truth and joy is you. Actually, you guide that, and so the name that has been chosen for you today could not be more fitting. Emet Simha. Emet means universal or truth, and Simha means joy. Daddy and I love you, Jeremy Nathan Engel. We love you, Emet Simha, and are so happy as you take your rightful place today as a bar mitzvah with a name that represents you so well. Have you heard the joyful truth yet? You are amazing. From lyrics of Bob Dylan's Forever Young, may you always know the truth and see the light surrounding you. May your heart always be joyful, and may your song always be sung. Mazel tov, Jeremy. Thank you for being wonderful you. I can't help but quoting another song for you as you step forward as a bar mitzvah. Here comes the sun. I love you forever, I like you for always. You know the rest of that. Thank you, Jeremy.
Okay, that's going to be a tough act to follow. Phaedra wanted me to go last because she thought I, might talk a little longer, which may be true. I have a lot to say. Like over the last week, there's just been so many thoughts going in my head, and I've had all these different ideas coming out of what to say, and I'm just going to try to speak from the heart. Before I talk to Jeremy, I'd like to just address everybody in the room. I mean, it's really amazing that we're all here, dancing, singing, especially in light of what's gone on, for the past year and a half, right? Yeah. So other than Jeremy, there have been two amazing women that have made today possible. Rabbi Didi, I just want to acknowledge her for her commitment and always knowing when to give Jeremy just a little bit of tough love, but not too much, just enough. Yeah, to give him a little push. And Phaedra, the two amazing women that are the reason we're doing this right now. And this is our spiritual backbone in our home. And I was going to talk about the prayers in my speech, but she already did it. She told you her prayers. And the one thing I wanted to say about the prayers is it always includes everyone. It's in Hebrew, it's in English. And if you had the opportunity of breaking bread in 1901 Gramercy, you've heard Phaedra do the prayers before we eat dinner. No matter how hungry Jeremy and I are, we have to wait it out. But it's always worth it, waiting through the prayers. And she has this way of just including everybody in the world, whatever your faith is, whatever your belief is. And that's part of the reason we're all here today, and we're sharing. And there's a love from Phaedra and Jeremy for the universe, and she's the spiritual backbone. And even though I was the one that went to Hebrew school, Phaedra was the one that kind of got him started. We scouted all the synagogues in the whole area, and we looked through it, and we started at Chabad. And when Jeremy got old enough and wanted to have a bar mitzvah, we picked Temple Emet, and part of it was his connection with Rabbi Didi, and the welcoming nature as you feel today. That everybody feels welcome here, no matter who you are, what your faith is. There's a lot of love in this room, and a lot of joy. So it was a great choice, and that's part of the reason we're here. Another thing I wanted to address before, I have some things to talk to Jeremy about, is when I went to Hebrew school, my favorite memories were really when they talked about miracles. And one of my favorite miracles was Moses leading the Israelites through, it's the Reed Sea, right? Yeah, but they call it the Reed Sea. I looked it up online. It's different names. But Moses leads the Israelites away from the Egyptian army, and the sea opens up when he holds his staff, and they get through, and it closes, and he gets to the other side. And those kind of miracles, I loved hearing them as a kid, and that was one of my big connections to Hebrew school. But I wanted to acknowledge our living, breathing miracle that's here today, Alfreda Derensberg. And I just wanted to... Even though she didn't battle the Egyptian army, she had amazing challenges this year, through health, and a lot of people had to come together, and we got her here, and it's beautiful to see you here. And I always wanted to tell you this, when I'm always grateful how you were a great grandma to Jerry over the years. And I know I'm going to break protocol, but I'm going to hug you, and here, so. Like that picture in the program, and I remember you singing songs to Jeremy and feeding him, and you gave him so much love. I was so grateful. Thank you. Okay. As I got my tally stuck in your wheelchair. Anyway, okay, so I just felt, we love you so much. Thank you. And Grandpa Charles, all those times you fed Jeremy and even made me lunch for school, I was so appreciative of that. Okay, so now I can get to Jeremy. I didn't want to get emotional yet, but I guess it's too late. Okay. Okay, so when I look back when I thought about today, I couldn't help going back to 1982, November 6, when I was doing my bar mitzvah. And as you'll see, there's a picture of it in the program. That's me, the little one in the middle. And I always envisioned looking down at Jeremy. I didn't realize that he'd be eye level at this point. Yeah. But I wanted to tell him something about my bar mitzvah. Like, I remember learning prayers. I remember Rabbi Mallard, Temple of Kiba. But my fondest memory actually was this moment, right now. I was up there, I gave a speech, and I looked up and I saw Grandma Edith and Grandpa Jerry, I'm sorry. I'm thinking of Grandpa Charles. Grandpa Jerry and Grandma Edith looking down at me and smiling with pride and love, and that was my moment. Out of all the things about the bar mitzvah, I always remember that moment. So I want to share that with you so you can remember that moment right now. We're looking at you with pride and love, and I want that, so 30 years from now, that's how long it's been, and it's great to see some faces that were actually there. I think we have the Michelsons and Robin, a few of the Zumbrums, where people were there. So that moment always stuck with me. It stuck with me just so much, that feeling of love and pride that you will always feel from your mom and dad. And I know you know by now that your parents will do absolutely anything for you, even at the expense of looking crazy sometimes, right? As we struggled through, as we had a whole year together, and we were in our home, and it was like a camp, like Camp Pandemic, and we were at home. And, he's growing up right in front of our eyes. I mean, how many parents get to see their kid in their first year as a teenager, like 24/7? And I mean, it wasn't always easy, but I do want to let you know is that expression that said, enjoy it while it lasts when the kid's young, we enjoy you still every day. And I just want you to know that. And I know your mom, and we just enjoy your company. We enjoy your conversations. We enjoy working really hard to get you out of bed. I just wanted to let you know that. And when your mom was talking about the time when you were a baby, and my version's a little interesting, but I have a little story to tell you when you were a baby. So when I saw you, the first time I saw you, I never saw a newborn, and you didn't have any eyebrows. No eyebrows. His hair was more like mine, just a little on the top, a little on the side, and you got great hair now. But I remember feeling a little insecure because you had bonded with your mom for 9 months. I was busy getting the right food, whatever the cravings. She ate more hamburgers and hot fudge sundaes. I was out getting food, making sure the temperature in the room was right. And so after you were born, I felt I was at a disadvantage. She had a bond with you already, and here I was just hustling around, making everything comfortable. So after you put your mom through a little tough pregnancy, I don't know what you were doing with that umbilical cord, but it was a little tough. We had to do a last-minute C-section, and your Phaedra she was out, tired, and you were in the, I guess they call it a nursery, right? Still in the nursery, and I went to see you. You were cleaned up. You had your little diaper, blue blanket. Everybody has blue blankets at Kaiser, so you were there. Your little blue blanket, and I'm looking down at you, and I'm like, I wanted to start our bond. How do I do this? How do I do this? So I put my hand, and your little hand was literally like about as big as my pinky, and you squeezed my finger so tight. It's all 7 pounds of you. You squeezed that finger so tight, and you held on. And I knew what you were saying in baby language. You were saying, I'm claiming you. You're my dad. I'm your son. And I could feel it. And after that, I knew that it was going to be okay, that I could do this dad thing. And then you slowly let go of my finger, and then you gave me another look and started to cry. You're like, as if, Dad, go get me some milk now. I need it right now. or some formula, because you looked hungry. So so I fast forward over the years and to 2021, and after being really comfortable at home, working at home, and with the exercise bike, you had your office upstairs, I had the living room, and and I had my own bathroom, and I had a kitchen, everything close by. All of a sudden, I have to go back to work, and it was really sad, actually. I started, especially the commute. Nobody likes the commute, right? No. Okay. So so I'm driving to work, and it was April, the first week in April. And that morning, I saw you sleeping so deeply because it was always hard to get you up, and your mom was home, so I didn't wake you up that morning. I didn't want to wake you up. I get a call on my cell phone. I see your name, and I was nervous. I was like, why is he calling? Is everything okay? And he said, Dad, you didn't wake me up. And I said, but Jeremy, you were sleeping so soundly. And he goes, I love you, Dad. And so every time I'm driving to work and I'm, complaining or feeling bad about going to work, I just remember his voice saying, I love you, Dad. And he was doing the same thing that he did when he was a baby. He was claiming me. I'm still your son, and I'm your dad, and we love you, we're proud of you, and you're amazing. I don't know any other way to end this other than that we should all hug each other, okay?
Well, Jeremy's not only amazing, you both are. The apple doesn't fall far from the tree. And speaking of which, Jeremy, let me see your bracelet you got here. Did you get this at the Shalom House?
Yeah.
So he's got his Jewish star power going on. And here are like the part of the tree of life, and you are part of a tree. All those branches are part of you, and they extend out from your family that made you who you are. And the Torah is the tree of life. And he picked out this lovely little commandments necklace for me because the Torah is important to you and important to me. So may you know that your branches of who you are going to branch out, and they're going to, like the giving tree, they're going to just give and give and give, and you are a blessing, and your family's a blessing. So let's all say a hearty mazel tov. So now our president, no, stay here, she's going to come forward. Our sisterhood president, first our president is going to give you your certificate, and then our sisterhood president is going to give you a gift, and I do want to say that we also had a special gift for Victoria, but it was going so well with her up here on the bima, and I know how it is with babies. And Wendy, I think you'll just have to mail it. I didn't know if introducing another character to the arena would change things. So here you go. Yeah, it's right here. Okay. Do you want to go? Okay. Do you want to come down, or you want to come?
I'm okay.
Okay, you good? Okay. All right.
Jeremy, I kept saying you were going to be wonderful. And then we had a whole year. And I didn't know if you were going to be wonderful after a year. But he was more wonderful than I thought he was going to be. Jeremy, we are incredibly proud of you. It says, Temple Emet, an inclusive Jewish congregation, blessed is God who has chosen us from among the nations and given us the Torah. Jeremy Engel. Say your Hebrew name for me.
Emet Simcha.
Having completed the required studies, was called to the Torah as bar mitzvah on the 11th day of Sivan, 5781, Naso, corresponding to the 22nd day of May, 2021. It's got Rabbi's signature on it, it's got my signature on it, so it means it's real. Congratulations, Mazel Tov.
Mazel Tov.
You are
Mazel
aggressive.
Tov. Mazel Tov. Thank you, Diana. And now we're going to have Pat. Are you going to be, I'm sorry, you'll have to come back up for your announcements later.
Stand over there.
Okay.
Oh, right after Pat.
Sure. Okay. Okay, come on. Or you can stay right here. Stay right here. Look, you have so much. I have a folder for you here. We'll keep it all nice.
So we have all watched you grow up. Last time I think I saw you
Here,
before.
come over here so the camera can get you.
Whoops.
I'm going to try to clean
Okay.
house over here a little bit.
We've all watched you grow up. I remember the last time I saw you, you were a lot shorter.
Yeah,
Well-
he was shorter than me then. Now look.
I know, and his hair was everywhere with curly, beautiful curly hair. And now look at you, and your voice was a lot higher. So yeah, we watched you grow over the last year or two, and we are all very proud of you. And the sisterhood has a wonderful gift for you. As we give all of our bar and bar mitzvah students, it is a shofar. So now you can really drive your parents crazy as you learn how to play it and use it, and hopefully you'll be able to use it when we have the high holidays coming up.
Yep.
So enjoy, and you did a great job.
Mazel tov, everybody, one more time. Mazel tov, thank you. Hey, you can open it. You want to open it? Go ahead and open it. Here, let's throw the candy back at the people. Here we go. Woo, woo! It is a sweet day. Have at it. Go on ahead.
I did not wrap it.
Okay. Shalom House. We realized we were both at Shalom House within an hour of each other right before Shavuot. Okay. And so, Rosh Hashanah, everybody save the date. I don't know if you're aware, it's Labor Day weekend. It's the Monday of
early
Labor
this
Day.
year.
So please save the date. Yeah, go ahead, rip it. Go ahead, you can just rip it. What? No, that's okay. You're going to need some lessons on how to do it. Sure, go for it. Tony, you want to help him? If there's a special, you got to do it. You might not, yeah. Well, you have to, you need lessons. You're going to see more to learn. It never stops. Tony, you're going to have.
They're very not easy to learn.
You're going to have to explain. You have.
Oh, is there the...
Yeah, but still,
no way.
You have to punch your lunch and then. Okay, so now you're going to see how much better he's going to be on Rosh Hashanah. It still has the marshmallow things in there? Oh, my goodness. It's really got it going on. Okay, well, Tony Wolf normally teaches everybody, or Amy, so you're going to have to come back before Rosh Hashanah and learn how to do it. Because there's a trick. There's a trick to it. And you don't want me to put my mouth on your shofar. It doesn't flow like that. Here, put it, well, go ahead and take it, but it's beautiful. Why don't you just gaze at its beauty? Okay, everybody, you're going to learn how to do it. Now you know you got more to learn, right? Okay, so come back on Erev Rosh Hashanah and Rosh Hashanah Day, the 6th and 7th of September, and watch him do it with our other people who do it, right? He still wants to do it. Okay, so now you can go have a seat because you're done. Woo, 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 woo. I'm so proud of you. I'm so proud of you. Okay, yeah, we'll come back and clean up later. Okay, and you have to come to my office because Zach has a present for you I have for you. Okay, so now Diana's going to give us some announcements even before the end of the service, and she's already up here. But we're almost done. Everybody getting hungry? All right.
Shabbat Shalom, everyone.
Shabbat Shalom.
Welcome to everybody. What a day this has been. What a celebration. You know, after a year of COVID and changes and rescheduling, Jeremy is now a bar mitzvah, and we're so proud. And as if that weren't enough, there was the baby naming of Terry Schneier's granddaughter, Victoria Rose, the daughter of Nick and Linda Schneier. Wow. The Engel family sponsored the service and flowers in honor of Jeremy's bar mitzvah. And Terry Schneier co-sponsored the service in honor of Victoria Rose's baby naming. Thank you so much, Rabbi Cantor Didi, for another magnificent service. Thank you, Dan Spector, and our talented volunteer musicians, Marianne Rothstein and Hilda Weintraub on harp, for the beautiful music. And always thank you to Mark Tannen and Andrew Liu for working the live stream. For those of you out there on the live stream, they do a good job. After our service today, we're going to Rock and Brews for lunch, sponsored by the Engel family. Another celebration. Our next Shabbat service will be live stream only on our YouTube at 5 o'clock on June 4th, and we will send you the link. Mark Tannen's Torah study on Zoom continues on Saturday morning at 9:30 after our Friday Shabbat services. And once again, look for the email to join in. Roger Peterson's class is Zoom on Eastern meditation. For those of you who need to meditate, you might want to pay attention to that one. The Sisterhood Book Club will meet on Sunday, June 6th at 2 o'clock on Zoom. And let Sherry know if you are going to join us. We're reading The Jewish Pirates of the Caribbean. Did you know there were Jewish pirates in the Caribbean? I didn't. But I'm learning because I'm reading the book. So if you have nothing to do, no. Don't say that. Okay, anyway. Join Dan Spector on Zoom on Thursday, June 10 for his spectacular music appreciation class. We love it. I know more about Gershwin than I ever did, not to mention Harold Arlen, who we started talking about. Okay, so the next sisterhood meeting will be on Tuesday, June 22nd at 7 o'clock, and we're not sure yet whether it's here or whether it's on Zoom. We'll let you know. The last service for June will be Friday, June 18 at 5 o'clock, right here in our building, and we'll be going to Hank's Pizza after for dinner. So if you want to come, you kind of have to let us know because we're going to make reservations. Stay well. I know we're opening up on June 15th, but until then, stay well. Till we meet again, Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom. Thank you so much, Diana, for all that you do to keep us going. You okay? So we are now going to do our closing prayers, and also we have a prayer for healing for those who need a refuah shlema. A burst of, we're going to do that first if you'll turn to page 371. And if you have loved ones, and we know that we want to give a shout out to Jeremy's grandma, that we want to have a refuah shlema, complete and full healing for. Draw them into your mind's eye at this time. And see them. You can say their names aloud in your heart or in your mind or out loud just right now as the music is playing, and then we're going to sing the prayer, which is on page 371. So please take a moment to see your loved ones. Take a deep breath in and a deep breath out and say their names. A prayer of healing, of body, of spirit. We ask that Adonai be with them on their journey to good health and strength, and so that they can continue to give the love that they so much have done throughout the years to their family. And that may those in need of a spiritual boost receive that as well. To call forward Charles and Teresa, who are going to open the ark for us for our closing prayer on the bottom of page 586. Please rise as the ark is open. And it will continue on 588 and then 591. So they're going to come forward and they're going to open the ark. It is a candy threshold up here, so go ahead. And just slide it open. Thank you. Alrighty. Aleinu l'shaveach ladon hakol ha'tekin l'sefer reshit shelo asanu k'giyei haratzot velo samanu k'mishachot ha'adama shelo sam chelkeinu kahem v'goraleinu k'ho hamonam v'anachnu korim v'mishtachavim u'modim lifnei melech melchei hamlachim hakadosh baruch hu Shehu Note Shamayim Ve'Yoser Haaretz U'Moshe Yekaro B'Shamayim V'Ma'al V'Shechinah Tuzo V'Govhei Meroim Hu Eloheinu Ein Od Emet Malkeinu Efes Ulato Kakatu B'Torato V'Yadata Hayom V'Yadata Hayom V'Shevota El Bavecha Ki Adonai Hu Elohim V'Shamayim V'Mal V'Haaretz Mitachat Ein Od V'Ne'emar V'Haya Adonai L'Melech Al Kol Haaretz V'Yom Hahu Yehyeh Adonai Echad U'Shemo Echad. And now the English on the top of page 591 together. May we gain wisdom in our lives, overflowing like a river with understanding, loved each of us for the peace we bring to others. May our deeds exceed our speech, and may we never lift up our hand, but to conquer fear and doubt and despair. Rise up like the sun, O God, over all humanity. Cause light to go forth over all the lands between the seas, and light up the universe with the joy of wholeness, of freedom, and of peace. And then now you can be seated as the ark is closed. Thank you. And now we have a prayer for those who have moved on into the heavenly realm, our mourner's cottage, if you'll turn to page 598. And, you know, we have our life that we live and we share, and we've had so much loss in this past year. We want to give a shout out to Joe Kritzer for the Mishabera. We have a congregant who is fighting for his life right now in the hospital from COVID. So he is actually, we had several who had COVID in our community, but we all survived. But Joe is in the critical stages, so we do hope that the Ruach Elohim, the Spirit of God that is kicking up right now, will help him, so that he will have a full and a complete recovery. But with our mourner's cottage, when it is time for us to move into the spiritual realm, if you look at the English, there's no mention of mourning. It is all a blessing and exaltation of the life of our loved ones, but actually the exaltation of the divine. So when we put praise, as Jeremy said in his speech, out, that praise comes back upon us. And we put praise out for all of our loved ones who have shaped us, molded us, and guided us, most especially those in your family that have brought you to this day, and also in the Schneier family that brought Victoria Rose to this day. So at this time, if you have loved ones that have, if you'll stand and say their names, we give honor and kavod to the name of the loved one. If you have someone who you've lost in the last 7 days, would you rise and say their name? And if you're at home, rise and say the name as well. If you've lost anyone in the last 30 days, the Shloshim period, would you rise and say your loved one's name? Sorry to hear. Please stay standing. Anybody else? If you've lost anybody in the last 11 months, would you please rise and say their name? And please stay standing if you're able. Is there anybody else? If you are observing a yard site, the memorial of a loved one's passing, please say, raise your hand if you're already standing. Wendy? My mother for lessons now. Great. Roger? My father, Jerry Peterson. Okay, great. And go ahead. Okay, great.
Jewel Levine, my cousin. David Goldstein, my cousin. Shirley Feshman, my cousin. And Gay Armstrong, my friend.
Okay, Robin, do you have someone? Okay. In the back there?
My mom, Sandra Potts.
Thank you. Pat?
Susie Bromwood.
And stay standing. Go ahead, Elsa.
My grandmother.
Anybody over here? And together we rise as one community. May their name and their memory be for a blessing. I'll raise my hand when I say V'imaru, and everyone says Amen. Amen means may it be so. If you believe that the divine should be exalted and hallowed and blessed for the glory of everything that we've been given, and most particularly love, life, and family, then you'll say Amen, or you can follow along. Yikadal v'yikadash shemei rabbah, ve'alma divrach iruteh ve'yamlich malchuteh, לחייכון וביומכון ולחיי לכל בית ישראל, בעגלה בזמן קריב ימרו. יהי שמי רבה מברך לעולם ולעולמי עמיה, יתברך וישתבח ויתפאר ויתרומם ויתנשא, ויתהדר ויתעלה ויתהלל שמי לקודשא בריחו. לעילה מן כל ברכתה ושירתה, תשבחתה ונחמתה דאמירן בעלמה ואמרו. יהי שלום הרבה מן שמיה וחיים עלינו ועל כל ישראל ואמרו אמן. עושה שלום במרומיו, הוא יעשה shalom עלינו ועל כל ישראל ואמרו amen. May God, who is the author of life and death, grant eternal rest and perfect peace to our loved ones in the heavenly realm, peace to those of you who are mourning at this time, and peace to all of our world and all those who have lost people in this past time of the pandemic, as together we say, Amen. And now our closing song will be Oseh Shalom. And so it's a prayer for peace where we ask, it's the last lines of the Kaddish, where we ask for peace upon our loved ones and upon the world. Thank you to Harry and Lisa, our religious school heads, for being up here on the Bima. Thank you to our fabulous musical ensemble over here. And thank you to all of you for being here. Thank you to Jeremy for having a bar mitzvah and his family and for the lunch coming up. Thank you to the Schneier family for giving birth to Victoria Rose. So much to be grateful for. Jeremy, may it be so. In the long distant future that you will be married under the chuppah and you will bring your child to be named at Temple Emet, so that your father can then say, remember, he can stand up there and say, remember at your bar mitzvah I spoke to you of how it was for me when my father spoke to me, and now here you are able to speak to your children. So together, while we're singing, Yahaseh Shalom, Shalom Aleinu, Ve'al Kol Yisrael, Yahaseh Shalom, Yahaseh Shalom, Shalom Aleinu, Ve'al Kol Yisrael, Yahaseh Shalom, Yahaseh Shalom, Shalom Aleinu, Ve'al Kol Yisrael. Everyone turn, Yahaseh Shalom, Yahaseh Shalom, Shalom Aleinu, Ve'al Kol Okay, so now we have our final thing. We have a leaf dedication. Do you guys want to peel off the stickers? And they're taking pictures over here. And then you can read to us what they say. So just like the tree that you have on your bracelet and the tree of life that you represent. And here you are on our tree of life. Woohoo! So do you want to read here? Oh, you have your microphone on, so you can... Okay, turn it on. There we go. Okay.
All right, so it says, honoring Jeremy Engel's bar mitzvah, 5-22-2021. Love Alfreda Derensberg, a.k.a. Grandma.
Woohoo! Okay, the next one.
So, honoring Jeremy Engel's bar mitzvah, 5-22-2021, in memory of Edith, Jerry, Glenn David, and Charles.
Woo! Everyone! Seinen Tov, Mazel Tov, Mazel Tov, Seinen Tov, Mazel Tov, Mazel Tov, Seinen Tov, Mazel Tov, Mazel Tov, Seinen Tov. Yehei lanu. Everyone, a big Mazel Tov! Mazel Tov!
Mazel tov.
So please be safe and healthy and well. Come back and see us anytime. And Jeremy will be around helping to lead services now that he's a bar mitzvah. Hopefully, maybe we'll have some future bar mitzvahs. You never know what might happen in the future. But we love you all. Please drive safely to Rock and Brews. And thank you to the family for tricking us all. So thank you. Do you have anything else you want to say?
Thank you, Rabbi Didi.
Thank you. I wasn't expecting that. Thank you. Thank you, everybody. Mazel Tov. Woo! I know. It's so great. We're like real people. I know. We're vaccinated.